Good morning, Vietnam. Hey guys, welcome to Saturday College Pick'em Show. So glad.
Good morning, Vietnam!
There it is. All right, we're up and ready. All right, we got a different setting today. We're out here with our youth group on a camp out in Charleston, South Carolina. Looking forward to an awesome day of picks. Figured we change it up this week, do something a little different. Let us know if you like the different venue style. But thanks for joining us so early in the morning. And we're excited for a great week. Preston did not join us, but Preston, how you doing this morning?
What's up, guys? I'm good. Just chilling at the house and just got back from Louisiana, so ready to roll.
Louisiana. Had some times at Buc-ee's, so that's awesome, man.
Buc-ee's, Canes, all the good stuff.
That's a win, man. So we got Logan, Will, and then your host, Dustin. But we're looking forward to an awesome day of picks. Man, we got some exciting breaking news, exclusive news that we've been teasing all week. So we're looking forward to that. Let's see. No one's pregnant.
Nope.
Will is not pregnant. I know that was like the leading
Sorry,
comment
guys.
in the guest in the show, but no, Will is not pregnant. So huge relief there. But hey, we're gonna run through some rapid picks. We're gonna get to the dumpster fire of the week. Then we're gonna get to our main picks of the week, and then we're gonna go over our game of the week: South Carolina versus Florida. So looking forward to that pick coming up in a second. Let's jump right into quick picks this morning. First quick pick of the day is number 1 Georgia versus Vandy. Will.
Georgia.
All right, Logan.
It's going to be ugly. Georgia.
It's going to be ugly. Preston.
Georgia all the way, easy pick.
Yeah, Georgia, not even close. Not even worth like 5 minutes of the show. But I think it's going to be ugly. All right, now, much more of an interesting matchup. Number 10, USC versus number 21, Notre Dame. Logan.
Give me USC. Notre Dame's already burned me so many times this year.
Yeah.
Give me USC.
Good. Preston.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna take USC. I think Caleb Williams, is just on this tyrant this year to become the best college quarterback ever, and he's already. I read some last night where he's supposed to be the most highly rated quarterback coming out of college ever. So I'm gonna stick with USC. I think they're having a year. I think it's gonna be an offensive battle, not much defense, but we'll see.
Good pick. All right, Will.
Burn me once. Shame on you. Burn me twice. Shame on me. I ain't gonna let Notre Dame get me a third time. So I think the high-powered offense of USC gets it done today. I think Notre Dame is on a spiral, and they're not looking as good as I thought they would. So I'm gonna go USC this week.
It's in South Bend, though, right?
It is.
Oh.
That might change a few things.
That's a long away game.
Yeah,
all over California.
That is true. That is that's a tough travel. But Notre Dame hasn't showed me that I could solidly pick them with confidence. So I'm gonna go USC on this pick as well. And then our final pick of the week for the quick picks is Auburn versus number 22 LSU. Wilbur.
LSU with a 75.9% chance to win. I think they roll against Auburn this week. And, Auburn don't like that saying roll because usually it's roll tide. But this week it's Geox Tigers.
Yeah. All right, Logan.
Listen, you can make fun of for saying that.
Offense is just too high-powered for Auburn. Give me LSU.
LSU for me. All right, Preston.
So listen, the first time we went down to Louisiana, I saw the Geox, and I was like, listen, what is that even called? What is that? Geox, Geaux? It's go, just in case you didn't know. So
just in case.
I'm going to go with LSU. I think Jaden Daniels is probably the best quarterback in the SEC right now. Their offense is probably the best offense in the SEC. Their defense is a little bit of a dumpster fire. But I'm going to take LSU against Auburn. I know they played a tough game last week against Georgia, but I think LSU is a better team than Georgia. So I'm going to take LSU.
Nice. Smart pick. Definitely a smart pick within your household. So I respect the pick.
Yeah, for sure.
Something we missed at the beginning of the show. We're going to give you guys a records update. So let's go ahead and throw that graphic up on the screen, see where we're at. Woof.
Yes, sir.
Still hasn't changed from last week, but
It's good to see.
as you can see, it's a lot closer. So we got Dustin and Preston at 25 and 15, Logan in second place at 26 and 14, and Will for the kill still in first place, 27 and 13.
Yes, sir.
So looking good. Hey, solid picks there. I love it. All right. We got a comment in the section here. Pepsi, betrayal of Coke. Wow. Jason, I don't know how to explain it to you. There's this guy named Chad. You just got to meet. And Chad has made us all a fan of Pepsi. So
It's just what I had to drink today.
Listen,
it's not on camera
I'm
right
a
now.
Coke
I'll plug this. Pepsi Zero is better than Coke Zero.
Yeah. Coke it's solid. It really is. But I don't know what it is. It's just when you hang out with Chad, you got to drink Pepsi. So
There.
this guy, Fern, man. All right. So that's our quick picks. That's our records update. Now it is time for the dumpster fire of the week, brought to you by Will for the Kill Brian.
Well, a lot of dumpster fire going on this week for me. I know it's a football show, and if it wasn't, I'd be picking the Atlanta Braves because they were a dumpster fire the entire postseason. But it is a college football show, so we will go that direction. I almost changed it this morning.
I think we stick with the Braves.
Colorado did not look good yesterday. Again, they keep slipping. But it was close enough. Double overtime. I don't think I'm going to go that direction. I'm going to go back to last week and my pick to upset Georgia, Kentucky.
Oof.
And they failed me by 1 million.
Yeah.
The running game was not there like it was the week before. What's the quarterback's name again? Anyways, he
0-1 versus Georgia.
He looked terrible. He threw so many picks. He wasn't hitting receivers in stride. He did nothing to help him win. Defense looked terrible. They looked lost. Just an all-out ugly performance from Kentucky. So they should slip in the rankings, and they are the dumpster fire of the week.
Nice. That's solid dumpster fire. I mean, I would agree Colorado's up there. I don't know if it's Colorado slipping or if that's just who they are. I think they had a really easy slate of first games, and then the reality of the schedule set in, and they just couldn't stand up to actual competition.
So is Kentucky the dumpster fire of the week, or was your pick for Kentucky the dumpster fire?
That's good.
Ooh.
Well,
Burn.
it probably was a little bit of both, but I don't remember the Mizzou game going very well for you either.
I'm just asking.
Hey, I appreciate both of your dumpster fires because me and Preston look a lot better. So
I picked both. Yeah,
I appreciate y'all's consideration for helping us.
I will give it to you. Your pick looked a lot better than
A
mine.
little bit closer, but
Yeah.
it's all right.
It's all right.
A loss is a loss.
loss is a loss.
An L is an L, and yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on. All right, so we've done our quick picks, we've done our scoreboard, we've done the dumpster fire of the week. Now it's time to get to the meat of the show here. We're going to go over our main picks of the week, starting with y'all's two controversy calls last week. Missouri taking on Kentucky.
Mm.
All right. Man, both teams looking good before last week, but we got Missouri unranked versus number 21 Kentucky. I'm going to let you have the podium here, Logan.
Okay.
Pitch me Missouri.
So Missouri looked really good against LSU last week. It really came down to the final two drives on what they were going to do. They went for it on like 4th and 27 at the end of the game to try and get a first down and just go on to win the game. Didn't happen. They wound up giving it away, getting the ball back, then throwing a pick six to end the game. But Brady Cooks is a really good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. He only has 2 picks throughout the year with 13 touchdowns, and then you have another good running back in the backfield, Schrader. He looked really good last week against LSU. Kentucky did not look very good. I mean, they played Georgia last week. Obviously, they lost by 38 points to a quote-unquote struggling Georgia team, or reloading Georgia team, I guess you could say. So give me Missouri. I think they'll pull off the upset this week.
Wow. All right. Wilbur.
Man, my head's everywhere on this one. I still don't know where I'm going right this second. Everything points to Missouri. Everything says that Missouri should win this game. My gut, for some reason, tells me that even though everything points towards Missouri, that I should stick with Kentucky. I think they're due for a bounce back week. I don't think you shut down the running game they have for 2 weeks in a row. I'm just going to kind of throw one up in the air here and hope it sticks. Logan went one way. I'm going to go the other. I'm going to go Kentucky.
Wow. All right. Keeps the Missouri-Kentucky feud going. I like it.
Go Cats, baby.
All right. I'm going to go throw my pick in. I think Kentucky does mount back. I think they go back to the ground and pound. I think Missouri showed that they can play ball. I would say Kentucky's wins and Kentucky's close games look better than Missouri's. Obviously, last week against Georgia, I think it was more Georgia came out and just saw the mess out of Kentucky than Kentucky flopped. I mean, I think Georgia finally threw a perfect game, and that's what happens when Georgia throws a perfect game. Everybody looks terrible. Just like the national championship last year. I mean, they just made it look like JV football. It was bad.
So should Kentucky be ranked? Is my big question. That was my big question that I had on Sunday. I was like, they just lost by 38 to the number one team, nonetheless, but they got pretty solid. They're still number 24 in the rankings for some reason. They're only 5-1, but you got Missouri, who came pretty close to a top 25 team, and they bounced out. And they're also 5-1, and it was a lot closer. They lost by 10, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's just a balance. I think if you put the number one team and you get blown out, you kind of chalk that up as, okay, that wasn't our game. But when you lose to a higher rank, like a higher in the ranking, as far as like number, I think, what was LSU last week? 20-something. I mean, I think that's like you show where you're at. You show you're close to more than 20 margin.
What's the justification for Kentucky being in there?
They were undefeated until last week.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, I think right now they're still the second best team in the East. And if South Carolina, if Tennessee, well, you got Tennessee. Never mind. Just kidding. Kentucky's definitely third right now. They've shown they're third. But hey, Cocktober is here. All right, so don't throw us out. But Kentucky, I think they've shown they're the third team. I mean, for goodness sake, Washington's a top 10 team. So I'm just saying, like, if anybody could be ranked, especially y'all talk about Kansas, y'all talk about Kansas State, and y'all talk about Boise. I mean, whatever. Like, all these random teams that don't have a schedule, it's like anybody can be ranked. I think it's just a joke at this point. So, it's all about the money. Let's just be real for a second. I don't know what to make sense of it. I think Kentucky, they're going to show out today. I think they're going to bounce back and show that they should be ranked. Preston, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think between Missouri and Kentucky, I think Missouri's a way better team. I think they came out and showed it last week against LSU. That was a battle. I mean, back and forth the whole time. Missouri's got definitely has a formidable offense. The quarterback Cooks and the wide receivers and the running backs they got a good team. I'm gonna go out and say this. I think Missouri might be the second best team in the East.
Wow.
I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. Just the way they performed against LSU. I mean, they're undefeated to that point, and they haven't played much. But still, I think they're a surprise team. As much as it hurts me to say, because Carolina never beats Missouri ever, so a little tough on that end. Hopefully, we can pull out a win. I think Missouri wins this pretty easily. I think Kentucky is not quite the team that Missouri is. I think Missouri's got more talent. Just like Stoops says, money pays, and buys players, and like Georgia, they can buy the best players. So, but
when you come out and make a comment like that, that's kind of what happens.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's tough. So, I think Missouri wins this pretty easily. I'll give it like a 34-20 score. So,
nice. All right. So you got Missouri.
Yep.
Nice. Preston's got Missouri. We got a split. That's good.
Hey.
I think that's going to be a close ball game. I think, either way. I don't think Kentucky has the breakout huge offense, but I think they have enough to control the clock, run the ball. So we'll see. I think this will be finally a test to see who these two teams are, where they fit in the picture of the SEC East. So good picks. All right. Now, next up, we got number 8, Oregon, taking on number 7, Washington. We'll get some guest participation here in a second. But number 8, Washington, taking on number 7. Did I say it backwards? Yeah, I did. Number 8 Oregon versus number 7 Washington. All right, Preston, what's your thoughts on this ball game?
Man, this will be a good one. Two top tier quarterbacks with Michael Penix and then Bo Nix. I think they're both really good quarterbacks. I don't know. I think I'm going towards Oregon. Just the way they handled business against Colorado. Just came out and showed them who's boss. I think Oregon's a better team. I think Michael Penix. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was the quarterback at Indiana like 2 or 3 years ago, and like lit it up. I mean, put Indiana on the boards, and they obviously didn't have enough talent, and they obviously squandered off at the end. But I think Michael Penix is a really good quarterback. I think he'll be a top, first round pick. He got the legs to throw the ball. He's a really good quarterback. But Bo Nix is good too. He's a game manager. He played at Auburn, played in the SEC. He's played in all the tough games. I think he just has more experience in tough games. So I think I'm going to lean towards Oregon on this one.
All right, good pick, Logan.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Washington. They haven't really played a lot of people this year. Anybody that's really noticeable. Oregon did stomp Colorado a little bit earlier in the year. Bo Nix is a really good quarterback. He's been a college quarterback for the past 12 years, it feels like. But I just think he has the more experience. He has the better offense, the better defense. I think Oregon's going to take this one.
So I believe that Bo Nix and Helinski were in the same quarterback class. Because I remember they battled it out, and so I think Rattler was all of that same group. So a crazy group there. Helinski, where did he transfer to?
Northwestern.
Washington.
Yeah, but I don't think he took the job by hand.
He was back up.
Yeah,
Northwestern.
Northwestern. Yeah. Okay, that's right. It's one of those purple teams. The other purple team that nobody watches. All right, so Will, thoughts on this ball game real quick?
Yeah, Oregon's got the better running game. They got the better defense.
Yeah.
Oregon's already proved that they can play against a really good offense and shut them down and look really good. Oregon's offense, I don't think it's going to be stopped. I actually think Oregon's, by the end of the season, is probably going to be in the top 4. I think they're a college football playoff team, in my opinion. I didn't have them in there early, but they've done the eye test. They've proven. They have a really good coach in Lanning. Came from Georgia. Defense coordinator really brought the defense to Oregon. And I just think they roll. I think they win by 14. I love Penix, but I think the defense shines a little bit more, and the offense does what they do.
Wow. I think it's the curse of the Gamecocks, too. You got another Carolina transfer going to Oregon. So I got Oregon in this game. I think they're going to win, take on Washington. All right. Next ball game, we got Texas A&M taking on number 19 Tennessee, the number 2 team in the East, Tennessee. What y'all's thoughts on this ball game? Let's go Will on this one.
I don't trust Jimbo Fisher. I think that's pretty clear at this point. Every time you think he's got it back on track, he lets you down again. The recruits are just recruits. They, for some reason, get all the hype and never perform. Tennessee really put it to us last week. I doubted them going into it, or 2 weeks ago, sorry. Really doubted them going into it, even though I picked them. I just didn't think they were that good. But this week, I'm going to go. Give me Tennessee. I'm just going to take the ranked matchup, play it safe. I think Milton continues to put it together, and the defense for Tennessee gets enough against Texas A&M to put a win up.
Good.
Maybe by 7.
Ethan, come here, man. We're just on the spot. We're going to bring you in live. Come here. So Ethan lived in Tennessee, so he has some familiarity with the Volunteers. What you got, A&M or Tennessee? Come on around back here. Give it up for Ethan, random guest picker right now. So Ethan, who do you got? You got Tennessee or A&M? Tennessee. Why Tennessee?
They never filter through. That's the thing with
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's decent, and their defense is pretty good.
Excellent.
Just saying,
Yeah. Hey, we got Tennessee right here, so good pick, Ethan. All right, we might have another random guest picker. You never know. All right, so we got Tennessee. I'm gonna go Tennessee as well. I think they're the real deal. They definitely showed it against us. So I don't think A&M has gotten their footing yet. I hope they don't, just because I don't want them to succeed and look
Yes,
good
sir.
against us. So I'm going to go with Tennessee. Logan.
A&M looked really good last week against Alabama. I think a lot of it was due to them playing in Kyle Field. The 12th man definitely helps them out a lot. But I just don't think they have enough to get past Tennessee. And Neyland this week. Joe Milton's turning out to be a pretty decent quarterback. Maybe not top tier in the SEC quite yet, but I think their offense and their defense is going to be too much for Texas A&M. It's going to be Tennessee.
Good. Rustin.
I think it comes down to home field advantage. I mean, if it was an A&M, Kyle Field, I probably would take A&M. But since it's at Leland Stadium in Tennessee, I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think one of Tennessee's biggest strengths coming into this year was their defense. I think they had a real solid defense based upon the stats I was reading. I think defense is going to win this game. Obviously, Tennessee showed up against Carolina and kind of shut us up and held Rattler to the lowest yardage of the season he's ever had. Well, we did have some run yards on him, but I think it comes down to their defense. I think with they're playing A&M's playing with a backup quarterback. And so I think Tennessee comes out and handles business and continues their run for 2023, 2024. So,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Agreed. All right, next pick, we got number 25, Miami, taking on their ACC opponent, number 12, North Kakalaki. All right. So, Wilbur, what's your thoughts on this one? I know you got some Tar Heel roots.
My dad's a Tar Heel for basketball. I don't really care much about him in football. I mean, don't hate him, don't like him. It's just kind of whatever. They got us early in the season, as in South Carolina, and they kind of put together a decent season. They haven't played a lot of teams. They've struggled here and there. But Miami, I just think, is really overhyped. I don't think they're as good as everybody thinks. I mean, they got embarrassed against Georgia Tech last week. Terrible coaching in that game, clock management. I mean, it was embarrassing.
That was terrible.
I really felt bad for the players because they played well enough to win the game, and their coach really threw them under the bus.
Yeah.
I think North Carolina has the edge in the rushing game, the passing game, coaching, and special teams.
Wow.
I'll give the edge to Miami in defense just because why not? Tez Walker's back again. He's always
because they got the chain, right?
Yeah. I think Tez Walker will be more of an impact player this week, getting into the offense a little bit more, getting comfortable again. So give me North Carolina by 17.
Wow. Okay, good spread. Let us know in the chat what you guys think about this ball game. But North Carolina, Miami, Preston, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think North Carolina is going to come out and handle business. I think Miami is a good team. They just had a bad coaching against the Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech is a decent team, though. I don't want to discredit Georgia Tech. I think they've played well in some games. Obviously, they lost to Bowling Green, but they have come out and proven they were a better team than they were in the past. But I do think with Drake May and then the new addition of the wide receiver, I think it's Tez Walker. I think they come out and handle business. I think North Carolina is a pretty solid team, and we found that out first game of the year, unfortunately. But it makes us look better, with them succeeding throughout the ACC. It makes Carolina look better because we played a decent game against them. We just couldn't pull it off. So.
Yeah.
I think, for us, I think North Carolina comes out and handles business. I think Drake May is on a Heisman run. He threw for 3 or 4 touchdowns last week. I think, another 3 or 4 this week is going to get him over the top of Miami. I do think it's a close game, though. I think Miami is a good ball team. They just had a bad game last week. So
yeah, they're tricky. I don't know how to play it other than that. Like they just stay in ball games.
I can't think of their quarterback's name, but he's a really good quarterback. He transferred from
Van Dyke or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. He's a good quarterback, so I think it's the battle of the quarterbacks this week. I think Drake May is the better quarterback, in my opinion, but I think North Carolina handles business and they pull this one off this week.
All right, I agree. I think the biggest thing that surprised everybody week 1 was North Carolina's front seven, and I think their front seven is going to dominate this game. So I'm going to give it North Carolina in this ball game as well. Logan.
Yeah, I'm going to take North Carolina as well. Drake May isn't quite shaping out to be the quarterback that he was projected to be through this year. He's still a good quarterback. He's throwing too many interceptions currently. He only has 8 touchdowns on the year. But I just think they have the edge over Miami. Miami has a terrible coach. They're probably not going to be able to adjust. Yeah, give me North Carolina.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a curveball in the system here. Y'all ready? We did this a couple weeks ago, but here's a curveball. What is the Ohio State game this year? Who are they playing this year? Somebody look that up for me.
Oh, they're
Purdue.
playing
Purdue.
On
Todd
Peacock.
Witzmall.
That's a trap game.
On Peacock. Wow. Trap game. We're going to add this to our quick picks real quick.
Hey, what about Florida State? Who's Florida State playing?
Who does Florida State play?
Syracuse.
All right, we'll add them too. Why not?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
We'll bring Zach
All
in
right,
on.
we
We'll
got
bring
some
Zach in
Ohio
on that
State
one.
people in the
sure he
comments.
wants to
They've
talk about
always
that one.
wanted to give us some love. So we're going to pick an Ohio State game here. Ohio State, Purdue. I'm going to throw it all on Preston. Ohio State, Purdue. What's your thoughts?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Will? Trap game.
It is a trap game. I'm thinking about the records. Just in spot, I really want to pick Purdue because of my brother-in-law. He gets a little cocky, and I just don't want him to look happy today. But I think Ohio State gets it done. So
There you go. All right. Logan?
I think I have to go with Ohio State for my fiance here and for my family up in the OHIO. So Bethany, this one's for you. Ohio State all the way.
Nice. Good pick. So Logan's picking Ohio State. I'm going to go Ohio State as well. Why not? Throw it up there. Get it done. I like it. So, all right.
Florida State, Syracuse.
Florida State, Syracuse. Will.
Florida State.
All right.
Nothing more.
Florida State. Florida State's back. Preston.
Florida State. But hey, before we finish this one, I'm gonna let Zach. I want Zach to give his input because he loves Florida State. Just kidding.
He does.
He's a big Florida fan. So this is like his rival. So if you don't know Zach, Zach's a good buddy of mine. We played basketball in college together. He played for a semi-pro team in Jacksonville. Really good quarterback. He's also the athletic director at Eagleview Academy. Has a ton of influence in that area. Obviously, we're pretty close friends. He's a good buddy of mine, and appreciate him coming on today. But I want to know what he thinks about this game and get his opinion on Florida State and Syracuse.
All right, Zach. Let us know. What's your pick in this game?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
So I have found myself and my hate for Florida State to grow more and more. But then I can also say that my hate for Ohio State has grown more and more. So I'm going to shift this. I'm going to answer 2 of these picks here.
There you go. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Florida State's going to win. Obviously, I mean, it is what it is. Florida State, I hate to admit it right now, but they're on the rise. And I was worried for my guys over there at Florida State, but they've got it together and they're working hard and they're going to have a phenomenal year this year. Ohio State, I hope they lose every single game. I hope they walk out on the field, they fall over, and they just suck. And I know it's a family show, so I'm going to keep it to a minimum here. But God, I hate Ohio State, and I may hate Ohio State more than I hate Florida State.
Wow.
So
That's
anyway,
strong words.
hey,
I can't believe me and Zach.
you guys
I'm
had
with it,
John.
man. I'm with you.
You guys had John Risk on, I think, on your first show. Him and I, he's a Florida State fan. His dad played for Florida State. Obviously, Preston, one of our good buddies. Him and I share the same amount of hate for Ohio State, and we talk about it probably weekly. It's the best thing. So, anyway, I hate Ohio State probably more than I hate Florida State. If Florida State and Ohio State were playing, I wouldn't cheer for either one. I wouldn't watch it, but, I want the Florida team to win.
Yeah.
That's one of those games you wish both teams would just lose outright.
Exactly.
So, this is a crazy stat for you, Zach. South Carolina played Ohio State twice. Guess what the record is versus Ohio State?
0-2.
2-0. Lou Holtz era, man. Back-to-back Outback Bowls against Ohio State. So, hey, we're undefeated. Bring it on, Ohio State.
There
We
we go.
want you. We want her down.
Oh no, that never ends up well.
We don't
Bring it
want
on.
that.
All right.
We don't want
So
that.
before we get to our pick of the week, we have a brand new breaking news that we kind of teased all week long. We have some big news. Groundbreaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our very first sponsor. Your Saturday College Pick'em Show is now sponsored by Midland Valley Christian Sports. You can see the graphic here. Right now, they are enrolling basketball. They are full on cheerleading right now. But if you're looking for someone local in the area, in the Midland Valley area, looking to play some sports, I cannot recommend this place enough. My kids play sports here. My daughter goes to cheer here. My son plays soccer. Preston, one of our hosts here, is actually a coach for basketball. So love this program, love everything they do. They do devotions at halftime every game. They do a Christian organization with gaming, and it is huge. And so right now they're actually building on more fields where they're at. And so they can take on more athletes and continue to teach Christian values with sports. So we're so thankful for our first sponsor, MVC Sports. There's the phone number, there's the email, and check them out on Facebook. Keep up with all their schedules, all the things that they're offering in sports. They got basketball, soccer, cheerleading, and t-ball, and soon introducing flag football. So we're excited for that.
Hey,
They do have flag football for adults on Sundays. So
yeah, they do.
You know,
hey,
we would definitely join in, but that's a tough day to have flag football.
Hey, I want to say
that's our
something on
sponsor
that
of the week.
real
We appreciate Midland Valley, everything they do for our program. We'll have the leader of that program, Nolan, come on and be a guest speaker soon. But thank you so much for being our very first sponsor for Saturday College Pick'em Show. All right, to our game of the week. We got the Florida Gators taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Man, never a pretty game. I think either way, for some reason, it seems like the favorite always doesn't look super great in this game for whatever reason. And we have definitely tripped up several times against the Gators. Just because Gators always have that X factor of defense. They're going to pull off something crazy or just downright run it down our throats, and it's never pretty. But South Carolina has had some surprise games where they showed up and taken it. I remember the Lattimore days. Lattimore ran over 300 yards in the Florida game that clinched the East a couple years back. But, man, this is a great ball game, great new rivalry. We share the same love for Spurrier, who is one of our both programs' all-time greatest coach. We have a lot of love for Spurrier, but when it comes to this ball game, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. So that's kind of where the pleasantries end there. So I want to go Preston first, and then we'll end on Zach. So Preston, what's your thoughts on this ball game, man?
It's tough. I mean, I would say whoever had the home field advantage would win this game. I think if we played in the swamp, we would lose.
Yeah.
And I think the same for Williams-Brice. I think the home field advantage is going to help us a little bit with that 12th man and the crowd being there. I think it comes down to one thing, and I think I was listening to a couple Gamecock shows this week, and what we really have to do as a defense is commit to one thing: either commit to stopping the run or commit to stopping the pass. And I think with Florida, their strength is going to be their run. I know Graham Mertz has got pretty comparable stats to Rattler, so he can throw the ball. But if you compare him to Will Rogers, who had more passing yards, more touchdowns, and as Carolina, we committed to stopping the run, and that's what helped us win that game. They might throw for 400 yards on us, but as long as they don't run the ball, we'll be able to make some turnovers in that point, some fourth down stops on that point. So I think that's the key to this game. I think we have to commit to stopping the run. If we can commit to that and we can stop the run, then obviously I think we can come out with the offense we have and score points, and it's just going to be an offensive battle. I think obviously Florida has a better defense than we do. I was looking at the comparisons this week, and I think Florida had the better offensive line, defensive secondary. I think we had the better – and running back. I think we just had the better quarterback, the better special teams, the better coach. So the odds are kind of stacked against us, I would say. I think this is probably the most evenly matched game in the SEC this week. I think Florida and Carolina are on the same level. I think this is a win or die game for both of our programs. I think if we lose this game, our season's over. And I think the same for Florida. If they lose this game, their season's kind of going towards the wrong direction, even though they had a better record. I just think 2 or 3 losses in the SEC is just not acceptable. So I don't know. I'm torn. I can't pick against Carolina. I just can't do it. I'll pick Carolina, but I think he might come back to bite me in the butt. So,
yeah, I think this is the dumpster fire bowl. I think this will finally take the title. I think for Carolina, this is win or you can't pitch it any other way. Beamer's really good at trying to pitch a record and making it seem better than it really is, but you don't win this ball game, it's not looking good.
No. We're not going to beat Missouri.
I agree with what you said, Preston. I think this game's a lot like the Mississippi State game. I think what it comes down to is being at home. So I know it's still probably picking a little bit more of my heart, but we are favored 2.5 points. I'll take the 2.5 points. I'll pick the Gamecocks. Logan.
I saw a stat this week that Billy Napier is 1-7 in away games as a head coach. This is not going to be an easy away game for him by any means. Willoughby is one of the toughest stadiums to play in the entire country. The only thing is our defense is terrible. We're giving up 443 yards a game of offense, and we're putting up 400 yards of offense, but that's not a good statistic that you want to have. But Spencer's a good quarterback. Xavier Legette's a good receiver. We got our running game together finally with Mario Anderson.
Yeah.
I think we can do it. If this is a game that we're going to be evenly matched up, they have a good offense. We have a good offense. We have a bad defense. They have a better defense. But I think we can do it this week. We're coming off a bye week. We're pretty good off of bye week.
Get healthy. Yeah.
So I mean, I think this is a week that we can finally put it together against Florida.
Yeah. Good. So you got the Gamecocks. Will?
Logan mentions the bye week. Carolina in the last 17 games coming off a bye week are 15-2. We're 2-0 at home this year. And Florida, I think, hasn't won a road game this year yet. Maybe they've won one. I saw a stat. I can't remember. But, I think it comes down to coaching this week. I think if South Carolina can coach the right way and not shoot themselves in the foot, they can win the game. But it's all going to come down to that. They've made so many mistakes in the past. They usually have like 5 a game. It's so frustrating, whether it's personnel issues or down and distance. What play are you going to run? And hopefully they can get it together this week. I think you're right with the defense. If we can stop the run, Graham Mertz is good enough. He can throw for some yards, but I don't think he's a quarterback that's going to go beat you in a game if you make him. I think the offense gets it together. The biggest thing for me last week is I was going to start a new saying, but they were playing Vanderbilt. So I'm going to start it this week. Anybody but Florida. I'm going South Carolina.
Wow. Going with the Gamecocks. Wow. All right. Zach, we've held you back long enough. Let us hear it. What's your thoughts on the ball game, Zach?
Let her rip.
First of all, anything but Florida, bro. Come on. All right, so South Carolina, Florida, it's always a fun game. I feel like it's always a good game to watch. We've got the connections of, like you mentioned, Dustin Spurrier. What he means to both of our programs. I think you guys got somebody else, kind of one of our coaches, sloppy seconds there for a little while as well. So, probably won't talk about that guy for either one of our programs.
No.
Yeah, but he did a lot of yelling and little coaching. But anyway, I do think overall this is going to be an interesting one. I don't like it. I think. Oh, great. Hey, we have a guest picker here. So
hey,
she was good. So I started talking. I think overall, you look at everything. Florida looks good. Last time I was on here, it was Kentucky. I was confident that it was going to be Florida. I know anytime we play Kentucky, it's going to be a toss-up, I feel like, but to lose the way we did at Kentucky, 33-14, we needed to bounce back against Vandy, which everybody's going to use them as a bounce-back game, which is great.
Amen.
And I think you guys have them next week. So, after Florida demolishes South Carolina, you guys will be able to bounce back in Vanderbilt, and you guys will be all right. So
We're gonna need it.
yeah. The thing I look at is, South Carolina's the rest of the schedule is not great for South Carolina. I feel like I don't know that they've got a decent schedule coming up. I mean, Jacksonville State, that might be a tough one. Texas A&M, Vandy, and then you got Kentucky and Clemson, so in Missouri. But Florida's rest of the schedule with LSU and Florida State, like, we've got some games on there, so we've got to start peaking and getting to where we need to be. I'm worried about Napier. The 1-7 on away games really worries me, and I don't know if I like where we're at right now. But
yeah,
I always got to go with my heart. I always got to. It always comes back to bite me. It's like Preston. Preston can't go against South Carolina. I can't go against Florida, and never would. I would hold it to the end. But I'm going to go with Florida on this one. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be within a touchdown. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go 24-14. I'm sorry, 24-17 Florida.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. And that's the thing. Like, going into this game, it's hard to have confidence either way, just because you don't. I think both of these teams, you don't know who's going to show up. I keep telling people, I feel like we can lose every game, we can win every game, but it just depends on who shows up. I don't get it. It's training college football year all year.
Right. If you look at Mertz and Rattler on paper, I mean, they're roughly the same. I mean, Mertz has 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Rattler's got 7 and 3. 1,400 yards for both of them. Like, they're very similar. It's all going to depend on the run game, and it's going to depend on defense.
That's it. You're right. And I say I hope we stick with Super Mario. Let him run. Let him hold the ball. Try to own the clock. Slow Florida down. So
give him the ball and throw to one instead of Juju.
Yeah.
Just make smart choices.
Whatever excuse you have for hurry up offense, get him off the field, get Mario on. So.
I hope Napier's play calling is better this week.
Yeah.
Because it's been pretty abysmal in the last couple games.
I think it's an issue for both our teams.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. So.
Yeah, I feel like our play calling changes week to week.
Zach, man, we really appreciate you being on the show. Appreciate you being a huge fan of the show.
Absolutely.
Always tuning in. And I love the rivalry between you and Will. Makes things interesting. So.
Hey, 2 weeks ago we were anything but a dumpster fire. Now we're trending back in the dumpster fire way. So,
I mean, yeah, y'all are 4-2. So I mean, that's better than we are. So I mean, I'd rather be 4-2 than 2-3.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and number 3 in the East right now compared to whatever South Carolina is right above Vandy. So
that's right. That's the goal. Finish above Vandy this year. That's the goal. That's their recruiting push right
I really think the game of the year is going to be South Carolina versus Vandy next week to figure out who's last place in the East.
Battling it out, man. You never know. We still got a few games to play, so we can either turn it around this game or just sign off.
Yeah, I think this game kind of shows us the direction we're going. Either we're going backwards or we're going forward. So
Yep. You're right.
Absolutely.
All right, Zach, thanks for joining in with us. That's a wrap on our pick of the week. But real quick, Preston's got a quick plug for our sponsor, MVC Sports.
Hey, I think with our headphones, y'all couldn't really hear us, but I just want to throw a shout out to Nolan and what he's doing with that program at Midland Valley Church Sports or Christian Sports, whatever it is. All my kids have played there. Landry's playing there now. Ella's playing there now. I've had the opportunity to coach a couple times. Basketball, I've had some success. Soccer, I've had 0 success. But yeah, it's that's a dumpster fire in itself. But I just want to throw out just a shout out from Nolan, just what he's doing with that program and just that ministry that he's really taking it to the next level, building new fields as we speak. Over 700 kids that are currently enrolled in soccer. I'm just I'm good. I'm happy to know that my kids can go and they could play in a league of sports and be competitive and also learn about Christ. And at the same time, we know it's going to be a good league. It's going to be fair. It's going to be competitive. So just shout out to what he's doing over there. Huge shout out to Nolan. I think we're going to eventually have him on the show as well. But just we appreciate what he's doing over there and how our kids can be involved in the ministry and a sports league at the same time. So appreciate him and the opportunity there. So
Preston, isn't that the league that you're like blowing people out and winning championships in
All right.
basketball?
Well, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all tuning in this
Yeah.
week.
Hey.
Can't hear anything,
Hey,
so I don't know what
Listen.
happened on
Listen.
audio,
I'll give you one
appreciate
plug.
you guys. Preston,
I
you
don't
wrap
think
us
Dustin
up.
can hear me. Can you hear me?
Wrap us up.
Hey, listen.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I know you can't. Zach referred to my comment of blowing people out. Listen, when I got my basketball team, I didn't know who I was picking. I picked the most random kids, and guess what? I picked the best team in the league, and we went out there and just had a way. So, not that it had anything to do with me. It was all credit to the kids. I had a really good team. Hey, listen, I'll tell you, this is a funny story. My daughter Ella, the first game we played, I pushed her to the max. Like, I would not let her come off the court because she's a really, really good defender. She's tall. She was blocking shots. She was getting rebounds. So, like, it was like 10 seconds left in the game. We were down by like 6 points, or we were up by 6 points, and I couldn't let her, come off the court. So I looked at her and I told her, no, you can't come off. And so the next play, she throws up a half court, like straight up projectile vomits, half court, because she gave it everything. So, I felt so bad for her, but listen, we won the game. She played her heart out, but yeah, we that was a good year for basketball. So, cool story. Anyways,
Yes.
Very
Awesome.
nice. Very nice. All right. Well, wait, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. Hey, Millie girl, thanks so much for being on with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on YouTube. We're so glad you guys streamed in with us. Have a great day of college football, and make sure you tune in next week. Y'all have a great week. Thank you,
all right,
guys.
guys.
Next week.
See y'all. See you, Zach.